Honorable Mule for this very timely legislative proposal to amend the Constitution. Honorable Speaker, CDF is a transformative development agenda which has actually transformed the lives of many Kenyans in the 290 constituencies. For example, Honorable Speaker, the 57 billion that has been spent on bursary the last 5 years only is not just a number. It's a resources that have been used to touch the lives of 6 million students who have benefited from the 57 million bursary funds in all the 290 constituencies. Honorable Speaker, I think we should make it very clear by saying that NGCDF is actually a concept that promotes localization of development in this country. This is because it is promoting or facilitating the shifting of power and responsibility and decision-making of development to the local stakeholders. Honorable Speaker, we have been told and we know CDF has been used to construct classrooms in all the 290 constituencies. It has been used to construct dormitories. It has been used to construct administrative blocks, libraries, toilets, school buses, staff houses in schools, chief's offices, and police posts. Honorable Speaker, I support the idea that the CDF has to be increased from the 2.5% of all the national government share of revenue to 5%. And by increasing the share from 2.5 to 5%, I think we should also advocate for the expansion of the function of the CDF, because right now it is largely covering education and the security sector. I am in support of the idea by one of our colleagues yesterday who said that water is an essential component that should be covered by CDF. I also think, apart from water, CDF should be the functions of CDF should be expanded to include energy, social security, and also perhaps the recruitment of untrained teachers, because in some of the constituencies where we are coming from, the administrators of those schools are really struggling with making sure they cover the curriculum, because the teachers posted by TSC are not enough. I know of schools in my constituency with very many students, like 500 students, with only 2 teachers, and the teachers are forced to look for funds which they don't have in order to employ the untrained teachers to cover the curriculum. Honorable Speaker, I think the idea that many Kenyans and especially the NGOs that have that have promoted in terms of trying to equate CDF to be funds managed by MPs is a fallacy. The CDF are resources. It is money that has been actually decentralized, that is used in the 290 constituencies to help the beneficiaries who are our constituents, the communities, and the schools, and the police posts and police lines. And therefore, I think the lacuna we've had right now in the disbursement of CDF has really caused a lot of suffering. For example, in Mandera constituency, where I come from, I receive calls every day where students are reporting of having been sent home because of lack of school fees. Students who have been reporting of missing their exams because they have been told they can't do exams because they have lots of fee balances. Students in, for example, one student I know in KMTC who has been forced to defer their courses because they are unable to report for the semester because of lack of school fees, and some students who have completely decided to drop out because they are unable to meet the school fees. I know of schools with 1,000 students in my constituency with only 2 toilets, and you go there in the morning, you see girls and boys lining up in order to make use of that facility, and those needs are increasing every day. We have schools where students are now sitting on the floor without desks and seats, and I can only imagine come January when they will be having double intake, because we are having the 6 sixth grade, graduating to lower secondary, and also the standard year is going to Form 1, it can only be chaotic. And therefore, since these needs are increasing, teachers are worried, parents are worried, students are worried, we need the CDF, as we wait for this legislative proposal, the process of changing the constitution, amending the constitution to go through, we ask the CS Treasury to release the CF funds immediately so that we can continue meeting the needs of our constituents, and these needs are increasing by day. Thank you, Madam Speaker, for the time.
The Honorable Member for Chesume, Honorable Paul Biego.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise to support this motion on NGCDF, and as I stand here, I am actually perturbed and perplexed in whoever would imagine that they would want to deprive the poor what rightfully would belong to them. So, Madam Speaker, the CDF is quite a critical component in issues to do with education, because many of us, many people have actually passed through their school because of the funding from CDF. And as I stand here, Madam Speaker, many of my constituents keep on asking, when are we going to give them bursaries? So it's a pity that somebody somewhere would actually think that they would go away with the bursaries. The benefit, as many of the members have said, and my colleagues have said, the benefit is for the needy people. The benefit is not for us members of parliament. It is not for all those people who are on jobs. So I would stand here, the floor of this house, to support strongly that CDF and NGCDF and the Gulf should not be disbanded. Madam Speaker, many people have praised the CDF for incorporating the poverty index when allocating part of the funds. And this has a high impact potential in addressing historical and systemic wrongs, such as regional disparities. And as you remember, in CBS, the Central Bureau of Statistics found that Kenya was a nation with huge disparities in service accessibility, quality, and efficiency, and hence the CDF, being a public fund, plays a crucial role in addressing some of these disparities. When we walk and when you go across the constituencies and counties, Madam Speaker, you realize that the funds and the projects which have been funded by NGCDF or CDF earlier are the projects which are visible. There are so many other funds that have been allocated to our counties and constituencies which are not visible. And we know very well that the funds that have been given through CDF, their projects are visible. And we cannot go to the direction that somebody wants to take us so that we don't have those funds. Hadn't it been of those funds, some of the members, even in this particular house, and many people who are in the offices would not be sitting in their offices because they were products and beneficiaries of the CDF. Their young children right now who are in their homes, their villages and schools, who actually have dreams. And for their dreams to come through, then they need this funding. Otherwise, they'll not go to school. There's the issue of security also, Madam Speaker, and this funding was also helping in the issue of police stations. And even in my headquarters, back in Chesume constituency, the headquarters is called Chemundu. When you go to Chemundu police station, the officers there are in a pathetic situation. They live in houses that just look like like chicken houses. The office, I was surprised that there's a government office and police which looks like the one in Chemundu, because that one even looks like a house, which a sheep house. So if we don't get this funding, I fear that there'll be many more things that will go wrong in issues to do with security. And I also wonder, because the level of accountability in CDF funding is so high, it is not in the mandate of a member of parliament. And I also wonder why the Senate would only want to be given also those funds to oversight, whereas we need it more because we're the ones who are accountable for those funding, just in case something goes wrong. And CDF is subject also to public participation. People usually go for public participation in order for CDF funds to be disbursed. And if there are any other complaints that emanate from the disbursement of CDF, I know that there is a mechanism for redress. So, Madam Speaker, I stand here being very confused as a member of parliament, because whoever wants to take away this CDF or NGCDF is a real enemy of not only the people of Kenya, but for the low class people, because those are the ones and those are the people who benefit from the NGCDF. So for me, I would like it to be entrenched into the Constitution, and so that we can have an end to this debate. Finally, as I go to sit, I would like to humbly call upon the sponsors of this motion, Hon Gishimu and Hon Mule, to speed up this process and bring it into a bill so that it can go through all the procedures and processes in the House within the shortest time possible. So with that, I can donate my time to many other members, but I strongly support that NGCDF should not be disbanded. Thank you.
Very well. Now, Honorable Member for Mutembei, the Honorable Bensouda.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. For purposes of record, I've stayed along before giving my maiden speech. Madam Speaker, I thank you for giving me this opportunity to give my maiden speech to the 13th Parliament. My name is Joyce Atieno Sogo Bensouda. My entitlements is Honorable and Doctor. Those are not parts of my name, but they are my achievements. I want to say that I'm honorable, not in the 13th Parliament alone, but I was Honorable Bensouda in the county government of Kisumu as the Minister for Roads, Transport and Public Works. I want to say that this day I'm the Honorable Joyce Atieno Sogo Bensouda as the County MP, Mutembei County. I have taken over